The Silicon Valley Bank has been a staple in the financial industry for years, serving the needs of businesses and entrepreneurs in the technology and innovation sector. However, recent news of the bank closing has caused widespread concern about the future of the businesses it serves. We will explore the potential impact on businesses and consequences of the Silicon Valley Bank closing. The closure of Silicon Valley Bank will have a significant impact on the businesses it serves. Many of these businesses rely on the bank for their daily operations, including access to credit, loans, and other financial services. With the bank closing, these businesses may have to look for alternative sources of financing, which can be a time-consuming and costly process. In addition to the loss of access to financial services, businesses may also be impacted by the loss of trust in the financial industry. The closure of Silicon Valley Bank may cause businesses to question the stability and security of other financial institutions, which could lead to a decrease in overall confidence in the financial industry. The closure of Silicon Valley Bank will not only impact businesses, but it will also have consequences for the local economy. With the bank closing, many of its employees will lose their jobs, which will lead to a decrease in consumer spending and economic activity. This decrease in economic activity will impact local businesses and could lead to a slowdown in economic growth in the region. In addition to the decrease in economic activity, the closure of Silicon Valley Bank could lead to a decrease in the availability of credit in the region. With fewer financial institutions serving the area, it may become more difficult for businesses to access the credit they need to grow and expand. The closure of the Silicon Valley Bank would have a profound impact on its employees. Thousands of employees would suddenly find themselves without a job, and this would have a ripple effect on the local economy. The loss of jobs in the financial sector is never good news, as it has a cascading effect on other industries as well. For the employees themselves, the closure of the Silicon Valley Bank would mean the loss of their livelihoods. They would have to find new jobs, and this could take time. In the meantime, they would have to make do with reduced income or rely on unemployment benefits. The loss of a job is never easy, but it is particularly difficult in the current economic climate, where unemployment is high and job opportunities are scarce. The loss of a job would also mean the loss of benefits, such as health insurance, paid time off, and retirement benefits. This would be a huge blow to employees, especially those with families who rely on these benefits to support their loved ones. The closure of the Silicon Valley Bank would force many employees to make tough choices about their finances and their future. The loss of jobs would also have a negative impact on the local economy. When employees lose their jobs, they reduce their spending, and this reduction in spending can lead to a decline in local businesses. For example, a laid-off employee may reduce their spending on groceries, dining out, and other discretionary items, which can have a negative impact on local merchants. The impact on the community of the closing of Silicon Valley Bank would likely be significant and far-reaching. Given that the bank is one of the largest financial institutions in the area, its closure would likely have a ripple effect throughout the local economy. One of the biggest impacts on the community would likely be job losses. As a large employer, the bank employs a significant number of people in the area, and if it were to close, many of these employees would lose their jobs. This would have a direct impact on the local economy, as these workers would no longer be able to contribute to the local economy through their wages and spending. Another impact on the community would likely be the loss of credit and lending services. The bank has been a major provider of credit and lending services in the area, and its closure would likely leave a gap in the local financial market. This could make it more difficult for businesses in the area to secure the financing they need to grow and thrive, which could negatively impact the local economy. The closure of Silicon Valley Bank could also have a negative impact on local real estate prices. Given that the bank has been a major lender in the area, its closure could lead to a decline in demand for real estate and a drop in prices. This would likely hurt local homeowners and investors who have invested in the local real estate market. The closure of Silicon Valley Bank could also negatively impact the local tax base, As a major employer and provider of services in the area, the bank has been a significant contributor to the local tax base, and its closure would likely result in a decline in tax revenue for the local government. This could make it more difficult for the government to provide essential services to the community, such as infrastructure, public safety, and education. The collapse of the Silicon Valley Bank has raised many questions about the future of the tech hub. While it is still too early to predict exactly what will happen, there are a few potential outcomes that are worth considering. One possibility is that the closure of the Silicon Valley Bank will lead to a shift in the type of companies that are attracted to the area. With one of the largest banks in the region no longer operating, it may become more difficult for startups and smaller tech companies to access funding. As a result, the area may become less attractive to these types of companies and more attractive to larger, established tech companies that have more resources and can more easily navigate the financial landscape. Another potential outcome is that the closure of the Silicon Valley Bank could lead to an increase in the number of fintech companies in the area. With traditional banking services potentially in short supply, there may be an opportunity for new financial technology companies to step in and fill the gap. This could lead to an acceleration of innovation in the financial sector as new companies compete to provide innovative solutions to the challenges faced by businesses and consumers in the wake of the bank's collapse. Finally, the collapse of the Silicon Valley Bank could lead to a more cautious approach to lending and investment in the tech industry. With one of the largest players in the region no longer operating, there may be more scrutiny and skepticism about the stability of other financial institutions and tech companies. This could lead to a slowdown in the rate of investment and innovation in the tech industry, as investors and lenders become more cautious about where they put their money. In conclusion, the collapse of the Silicon Valley Bank will likely have a significant impact on the future of the tech hub. While it is still too early to predict exactly what will happen, it is clear that the closure of the bank will have far-reaching consequences for businesses, employees, the community, and the future of Silicon Valley itself.